Goldwing rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, who is fearless in a world of reckless automobiles. These are Caliente Motovlogs.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris is out on the Goldwing, out on the DCT, out for a ride. It feels good to be out on the Goldwing. The current air temp right now, I'm showing 89 degrees out. Got a little bit of cloud coverage. It's been smoking hot. And I'm just glad to be back on my Honda Goldwing. You know, my bike has been down for a couple of days. You know, I've been dealing with this issue of my Honda Goldwing not starting. If you missed the video of me talking about that, you can always click on the link in the top corner for part 1. And I talk about why my Honda Goldwing is not starting. If you guys missed the video or how I found the solution to my problem, you can click on the link in the top corner for part 2 of my video. But today I just wanted to get out and do a test ride just to make sure that my Honda Goldwing is performing as it should. You know, when I got my bike started, finally, you know, I had this check engine light to pop on. And that was the first time I've ever seen my check engine light come on my Honda Goldwing. I've heard other riders out there say that their check engine light came on. And some of them said that after riding for a while, it went off. But this is the first time that my check engine light has ever came on my Honda Goldwing. But I feel good. I got a new battery. Went with the Duracell. You know, recently I went from the NOCO to the Yuasa. Now I'm back to the Duracell. You know, when you first purchase your Honda Goldwing, it comes with the Yuasa battery. That was when I discovered during that time that the new style Honda Goldwing didn't come with a battery voltage gauge. You know, which puzzled me because any vehicles that has a charging system, like your cars and trucks, even your big rigs, you know, they have an indicator to let you know that the alternator is putting out the proper charging voltage. If you guys missed that video on how I actually installed the battery voltage gauge, you can click on the link in the top corner. And I put that battery voltage gauge on my Honda Goldwing specifically because I needed to know if my Honda Goldwing was charging. You know, it was weird to me because the Can-Am Spyder has a battery voltage gauge. The Indian Challenger or the Indian motorcycles has a battery voltage gauge. Even a Harley Davidson has a battery voltage gauge. BMW has a battery voltage gauge. But I just couldn't figure out why did Honda, the flagship motorcycle, the king of the road, didn't have a battery voltage gauge. Well, anyway, I put a battery voltage gauge on my Honda Goldwing to just monitor my battery in real time. So today I'm just out here testing out my bike. I got a new battery. I got some new fuses installed in the bike. And right now everything is working as it should. No lights are on that shouldn't be on. The switch appears to be working as it should. And I just really thank you guys for reaching out and offering your support. You know, like one writer told me, he said, Chris, shouts out to Solo out there in Philadelphia. He said, Chris, if your bike go down, we all in this together. And I really appreciate that. So shouts out to Solo out there in Philadelphia. Actually, before I went out for a test ride, I actually reinitialized the clutch on my Honda Goldwing. Since I have a new battery, I wanted to reinitialize the clutch. I want to make sure that this thing is shifting smooth as butter, smooth as butter. So I'm going to leave my phone line open. If any of you guys want to call in, some of you guys that I missed your call, I want to hear what you guys have to say about my Honda Goldwing not starting. My telephone number is 901-468-9032. If you want to get on with your boy Chris, I'm on the Goldwing. Hey, this Caliente, I'm on the Goldwing. Who is it?
This is Muro from New York. I was watching your video about your bike wasn't starting.
Right.
Yeah, so I posed 2 comments. I don't know if you noticed or if you saw them. I mentioned you the fuse for the main power.
Uh-huh.
I had the same problem with my bike, and it happened to me 3 times. One happened in the middle of the road, man. My bike shut off.
Wow. Your bike shut off while you was riding it?
Or while I was riding.
Okay.
No, when I was riding, I was going around 40.
Okay.
40 miles per hour. Yeah, and my bike suddenly shut off. So, man, I had to move to the side of the road. And for some reason, after a few minutes, I kind of shake the bike around and we start again. I said, something funny with this bike.
Right.
So until I realized, I start moving those buses. I opened the fuse compartment buses and I moved that. And I realized that fuse, the fuse for the main power, it was loose. Like when you press down, the female connector that receives one side of the fuse, it moved down, like when it kind of get loose.
Okay.
So, and then I took that out and I fixed the female that received the fuse. So after that, I never had a problem again. So that was the main problem. If you fix it or you think you fix it, go back again because it's gonna happen. It's not connecting properly. It for now might be, but at some point it's gonna disconnect again. So try to check how if that thing is loose. The female part that received the fuse on one side, it might be loose. Okay.
Which fuse are you referring to?
I referring to the 2-1 that you mentioned in the last video.
Oh, the 2 when it look clear, the little the one on the bottom of the fuse box, the little 2 fuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The one on the right side, not the one for accessory, not the other one.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that give you that problem. It might be working fine now, but when you get a chance, check it again and make sure that the female part that receive one of the side of that fuse is
right.
It's not loose. Check. Make sure it don't go. It get wider with the time, like the span.
Okay. You know, I took those 2 fuses out. One said accessory, and I think the other one said ignition. One was
ignition, that one.
Yeah.
The one that said ignition something. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you had that problem, your switch wasn't working either. The one on the handlebars wasn't working.
No, it had power, but I think you don't see the main screen doesn't show up. But when you press start, the bike doesn't start. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it happened to me 3 times. The first time it happened to me was when I was going on. No, I was at the gym. I remember I was at the gym. When I came back from finish my exercise, I went to the parking lot. I started to start my bike. Man, it didn't start. So I don't remember what I did there. I think I disconnected the battery or I figured it out. But the thing is, I managed to start the bike. And then it happened to me somewhere else. And then when I was on my way to go to work, man, early in the morning.
Okay.
And so after I did that, I rode the bike for a couple of thousand miles, no problem at all. Yeah.
What year is your DCT?
22.
You got the 2022. You got the blue one.
No, the black one. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of the bike because I have a few incidents with the bike, so I decided to get rid of until I can get a new one. Maybe I get a 26 or 20 something. Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
My name on YouTube is Samuro Adventure.
Oh, okay. I don't think I can pronounce that one.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's
where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York.
Oh, you in New York? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Long Island, New York. Yeah.
Long Island. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm riding I trade my Goldwing for the new BMW, the 1300.
Okay.
And that bike also has few issues, but I fix them because I like to do my own thing, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't go to the dealer just for any little thing.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. When I had the Goldwing, I hit a pothole and it bent the ring, the front ring.
Okay.
Man, that bike had to be at the dealer for 3+ months.
Okay.
Just to fix one ring. And I was so disappointed. I said, no, I can't take this anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you got rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got rid of this, but not because I don't like my bike. I did like my bike. But I got disappointed with the bike, and I said, no, I got to get rid of this one, and I will get another one another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long you been watching my videos?
A long time, man. I don't even remember, but I've been watching you for a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you giving me that advice. And, right now I got the bike cranked up. I'm actually out for a test ride to see how the bike is performing. And right now everything appears to be working fine. My check engine light has gone off. It went off inside of the garage. It stopped lighting up.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just out here testing it out the bike and just doing some video and to see how it works.
But like I say, even if the bike is working, when you get a chance, or if that happen again anywhere you are, make sure you go and check that fuse. That's the problem with this. I tell you because I went through that already 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So another thing is the engine light. It happened to me a couple of times too, but it go away. I think when you turn off the bike and turn it back on, I don't remember that part, but yeah, that's not a big deal. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Man, no problem. Anytime.
All right. Stay in touch. Talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, this Caliente. You tried to reach me?
Yeah, I was calling you when I saw your video about your bike wouldn't start.
I got the bike started. I replaced a couple of fuses and I put in a new battery. And my bike is actually I'm on it right now.
Okay, I thought you had a new battery in there, but you changed it.
I did. I had a Yuasa, and I kind of went through that in the video. I changed the ignition and the I think it was an accessory fuse there on the side of the battery, down on the bottom inside of that clear housing. And once I did that, the bike actually cranked up. But my check engine light was on. My check engine light was on. I shut everything down. I disconnected the cables, and I let it stay disconnected for a while. I took out that Yuasa battery because I really wanted something with more cranking amps, and I installed the Duracell battery.
Oh, okay. That's what I got in mind, is a Duracell.
Okay.
But I also text you. I had a problem. I got a standard.
You got a what?
I got a standard, 2018 standard.
Okay. Standard. Okay.
I don't have a.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a DCT.
Okay.
I wanted one, but I don't have it.
Okay.
But my problem I had one day, I was riding. It was riding fine until I stopped, and I went in the store. And when I came back out, my bike wouldn't start. And
now, when you say it wouldn't start, it wouldn't turn over, it wouldn't have power to it. What do you mean by it wouldn't
power?
Start? Okay.
It had power, but it just wouldn't start like yours.
Okay.
All the lights and everything came on, but
okay,
it just wouldn't start.
It wouldn't turn over. Okay.
And so my problem was my kickstand.
Okay.
I raised the kickstand up, but it wasn't up all the way, so I lowered back down and brought it back up. My bike fired up. And what it is I cannot lock my gooseneck. And so it's they replaced the switch.
Right.
They replaced the wiring. They had a specialist from Honda, because there's no Honda dealers or mechanics in North Carolina.
Right.
There's one in South Carolina, and there's one in Tennessee, but
right.
not in North Carolina.
Okay.
So they brought a mechanic in, and he says, I know exactly what's wrong with it.
Okay.
And they called me today and said my bike was done. And I went up there to pick it up, and he rolled it out of the shop. I attempted to lock the handlebars, and same thing. It beeped twice. So, it beeps once, it locks. Beeps twice, it's not locked. And so he said he's going to get back with the Honda guy.
Okay. What year your bike?
2018.
Oh, the 18, okay. Yeah. Wow, I've never heard of that. That's the first time I've heard of a bike doing that.
Yep, the lock light is on right now, and the only way I can get that lock light off is I have to disconnect the battery. Once I disconnect the battery, it goes out.
Right.
But I can't lock the handlebars.
Wow.
So
that's not good. I guess these bikes,
the fourth time.
I guess these bikes had their share of problems.
Yeah.
They're not perfect, but they
but
have.
You've never heard it?
No, I've never heard of that. That's the first. That's the first time I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah.
Well, keep it posted and let me know how it turns out for you.
Okay.
I'll be curious.
I ain't really worried about it because I got an alarm on it, and I got a GPS tracking on it. So if somebody takes it, I can definitely find my bike.
Okay.
But I would like to be able to lock that handlebar.
Well, maybe I can put it out there to my viewers and see if they have a solution.
That.
Yeah. I'll put it out there.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you too. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Phone line is open, 901-468-9032. If you want to get on with your boy Chris, I'm out here testing out my Honda Goldwing just to make sure that it's working properly. If anybody have heard of a situation to where the handlebars wouldn't lock, I would like for you to comment on this video. Your comments just may help someone out.
Hello, Chris.
Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I got you now. Yeah, I left a message for you about, you were asking for help, trying to figure out what was wrong with your bike, why it wouldn't start after you washed it the other day.
Right. That's exactly correct.
What was it that caused it to go down?
I don't know. One thing I will say is that, I checked the fuses inside of the fuse box. And it was not until it's two fuses on the side of the battery. One is an ignition fuse. The other is an accessory fuse. One is like a 20 amp, one like a 30 amp. And once I pulled both of those fuses, I kind of examined the fuses. And when I put them back in, the bike fired up. And
well, you know, after I watched your YouTube video the other day when you were trying to figure out what was going on with your bike, because you never started it up, you just pushed it outside, washed it, and it was dead.
right.
And you were asking for help and stuff. I don't even have the new model. I got the old 16.
Okay.
But I started doing some research, and people were saying that water shorts out the start button on the handlebars at times, and if you just leave it sit for 2 days, it'll eventually re-dry itself out, and you can restart it. And I read that one article about you have to initialize your computer and push your bike back 10 yards to get it to reset, to go into the, so it would start after you turn the switch on. You would still have to push it back to reset the computer. So, so I sent you 2 little messages that I read or I found out, and I didn't know if that helped you out or not.
Yeah, when my bike wouldn't crank up, I actually pushed it in the garage. So, I know it was in neutral because it was showing it on the screen, plus I pushed it in the garage, so it was rolling. It wasn't in gear.
Right.
Because, with the DCT, when you cut it, if you're in gear and you cut the bike off, it throws it in neutral. Automatically. It's like a fail-safe. Or if you...
Well, they were mentioning that, but they say sometimes the computer doesn't actually catch up with it. It goes into a fail-safe so you can coast to a stop without it doing any damage, but then they were saying to reset the computer to catch back up because you're not supposed to run out of gas with them. If you run out of gas, it's just like shutting them off in gear.
Yeah.
And it can... It can make the electronics lose touch with themselves. So you have to send it back home and kind of like do a reboot and they say if you push it 9.5 yards back, one person says if you push it back 9.5 yards,
okay,
and you don't go the full 10 yards, it won't reset.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't know nothing about those new bikes. I'm still debating whether I'm going to get one or not, but I just love my 16 to death.
Yeah,
I was surprised you got rid of your old bike. I'm
going to be honest with you. It's a very good bike. I don't have no regrets. I love this bike. It's a good bike. It's automatic. It's a computer-based bike. It's electronic. So, anything man-made stuff that has some issues. I've reinitialized my transmission. Once I went out for a test ride, I reinitialized my transmission, which I'm knowing that wasn't my problem, but I did it anyway, even though, you can reinitialize it as many times as you like. It's not going to hurt your bike. And,
right.
I just think...
And that's what they said. They said it probably ain't the transmission getting relearn itself.
Right.
It's probably not that, but people were talking about water getting into that, on the start switch on the handlebar.
Right.
That you have to let it dry. And I'm thinking, boy, that's kind of ridiculous to have something that sensitive on the handlebar where it's going to be in the rain.
Right.
Just shut off on you while you're in a thunderstorm. But
what's really weird? I've ridden through heavy rains in this bike. I've never had anything like that ever happen before. I've washed it many, many times, never had any problems. So,
right.
I don't know. It might have been an isolated case. I've never had a problem with the switch. I've never had a problem with rain. I've never had a problem with washing. That was the only thing that I did that wasn't routine. And, but I got it started. I'm on it right now as we speak. And,
well, dude, I'm glad
it's for a test ride and taking it on in. And
well, this may not help you at all, but one guy mentioned that he's had this happen to him 3 to 5 times, and even though it's happened to him, he just lets it sit for 2 days, and he doesn't know what it is, but it resets itself and off does riding again. I read one guy mentioning about having the same problem, so I don't know what it is or if Honda actually knows what it is, but
right.
I'm glad to hear you got your bike up riding. I love watching your YouTube channels.
Okay.
And I just thought I'd, touch base with you and see whatever happened on that. So enjoy your ride.
So I just really appreciate you guys calling in and just, offering some good advice about the Honda Goldwing. We can all learn from each other with these Honda Goldwings. One person doesn't have the answer. There's hundreds and hundreds of Goldwings, if not thousands of Goldwings on the road, the new model, and we can all learn from each other. That's how we learn. One person have an issue, we all put our heads together and try to come up with a solution. So I just appreciate all my viewers and subscribers for chiming in and weighing in on my video and reaching out. My phone line is always open to my viewers. If I don't answer, just leave a message. I'll call you back. Feel free to text me, 901-468-9032. Well, anyway, if you guys have any questions or any comments, don't hesitate to put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is your boy Chris, out on the Goldwing. Out on the Goldwing, the most technologically advanced motorcycle in the world. And I will talk to you guys later. Deuces.